Imagine waking up each day feeling a sense of despair and hopelessness. Can you picture it? For a staggering number of young people, this isn't a hypothetical scenario, but a harsh reality. According to the Walton Family Foundation, those belonging to Generation Z are nearly twice as likely as previous generations of Americans to grapple with these intense feelings of depression and hopelessness. And it doesn't stop there. They're 3 times more likely to admit that their challenges are so overwhelming, they've considered that they might be better off dead. This is a startling revelation, a silent struggle that many are unaware of. This situation demands our attention, our understanding, and our empathy. We need to delve deeper to explore why this is happening. So let's embark on this journey together to uncover the truth behind Generation Z's quiet despair. A startling reality, isn't it? But why is this happening? Depression, despair, hopelessness. These are not just words, but emotions that Gen Z is grappling with every day. These feelings are not just fleeting thoughts that come and go, but rather, they've become a constant companion for a significant number of our young people. Research paints a rather disconcerting picture. The data shows that individuals belonging to Gen Z are almost twice as likely to experience depression and feelings of hopelessness compared to their predecessors. This isn't a small difference. It's a stark, unsettling divergence that can't and shouldn't be ignored. But the story gets even more distressing. A disconcertingly high number of these youngsters have expressed thoughts that are so overwhelming, so unbearable, that they've contemplated the unthinkable, that they might be better off dead. This isn't just about feeling down or being in a rut. This is about a deep, debilitating despair that's affecting an entire generation. So, when did this start? Well, the data indicates a significant mental health decline post-2012. Around this time, there was a sharp increase in mental health issues among teens. Rates of clinical depression doubled. Suicides increased. Incidents of self-harm quadrupled. These aren't just statistics. These are real lives being affected, real futures being compromised. Why 2012, you might ask? Well, that's the year when the widespread adoption of smartphones crossed the 50% mark in the US. This technological shift brought about increased online time and decreased face-to-face interactions and sleep. It's a critical factor that we need to consider when we talk about Gen Z's mental health. But it's not just about technology. There are cultural and social shifts at play here too. The transition towards postmodern values has fragmented traditional community structures and beliefs. This has led to increased individualism, but also higher feelings of isolation and meaninglessness among Gen Z. Economic and job security concerns play a role as well. Historical changes in the job market, such as the significant layoffs at IBM in the 90s, have contributed to Gen Z's skepticism about job security and the traditional American dream. So what's causing this surge in mental health issues? It's not one thing. It's a perfect storm of factors that are converging to create a generation in distress. 2012, a year that marked a significant shift in our lives. The widespread adoption of smartphones. This tiny device, which fits so comfortably in the palm of our hands, has transformed the way we communicate, learn, entertain ourselves, and even sleep. But this technological revolution has also had some unintended consequences. Consider how much time we spend online. The average person checks their phone 80 times a day. That's once every 18 minutes. And for Gen Z, those numbers are even higher. They're the first generation to grow up with smartphones, and it's become an integral part of their lives. But with this increased online time comes a decrease in face-to-face interactions. Conversations are replaced with texts, emojis, and likes. Real-world experiences are traded for virtual ones. And this shift has had a profound impact on the mental health of Gen Z. The lack of real-world social interaction can lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. And the constant barrage of online content can create unrealistic expectations, leading to anxiety and self-esteem issues. The pressure to always be on, to always be connected, can be overwhelming. And this can affect sleep patterns, with the blue light emitted by smartphones disrupting the body's natural sleep-wake cycle. And let's not forget about the impact of cyberbullying. With the anonymity of the online world, bullying has taken on a new and often more vicious form. And the effects can be devastating, leading to increased rates of depression and even suicide among Gen Z. So while smartphones have undoubtedly brought us many benefits, they've also introduced a new set of challenges. And these challenges are affecting the most vulnerable among us, our young people. They're growing up in a world vastly different from the one their parents and grandparents knew. And they're having to navigate this new landscape largely on their own. But it's not just technology that's causing this shift. Societal changes are also playing a role. We live in a postmodern world, a world where traditional community structures and beliefs have been fragmented. In this new age, individualism has spiked, and we're seeing a shift away from the communal values of yesteryears. It's a world where the self reigns supreme, where personal identity and self-expression are celebrated more than ever before. This shift is not inherently bad. It's given us incredible advancements in personal freedoms, diversity, and acceptance. But on the flip side, it's also created a sense of isolation and disconnection that's particularly palpable among Gen Z. You see, in our quest for individualism, we've somewhat lost the sense of community, the feeling of being part of something bigger than ourselves. This lack of community, this feeling of isolation, can breed a sense of meaninglessness. After all, if we are just floating islands, disconnected from each other, what's the point of it all? As we've moved away from traditional norms, the anchors that once grounded us have been dismantled. The rites of passage, the shared beliefs, the community gatherings that once gave life a sense of purpose and continuity are now less prevalent. And in their absence, a void has been left, which many young people are struggling to fill. This void, this feeling of being adrift in a world that champions the individual, but overlooks the collective, can be deeply unsettling. It can make you feel as though you're alone in your struggles, that no one else could possibly understand what you're going through. And when you consider that this cultural shift is happening against a backdrop of other challenges, the rise of technology, the decline in mental health, the uncertainty of the future, it's no wonder that Gen Z is feeling the strain. We're living in a world that's changing rapidly, a world that's more complex and uncertain than ever before. And these changes, these shifts in our cultural and social landscape, are having a profound impact on our young people. And when you add economic concerns into the mix, the picture becomes even grimmer. Remember the significant layoffs at IBM in the 1990s? Those changes are still impacting our job market today. Let's take a stroll down memory lane to the 1990s, a time when the corporate behemoth IBM was experiencing significant layoffs. This was a seismic shift in the job market, shattering the illusion of job security for many. The aftershocks of these layoffs are still felt today, especially by Gen Z. You see, Gen Z has grown up in the shadow of these historical changes. They've witnessed their parents and older siblings struggle with job stability, and it's made them skeptical. They've seen firsthand that climbing the corporate ladder doesn't always guarantee a safe landing. And this skepticism isn't unwarranted. The job market has become increasingly volatile, with automation and outsourcing causing more uncertainty. This uncertainty has made Gen Z question the traditional American dream. Can you blame them? They've seen the goalposts move too many times. Buy a house, start a family, retire comfortably. These milestones seem increasingly out of reach. This disillusionment has significantly influenced how Gen Z engages with the labor market and societal expectations. They're more likely to seek out flexible working arrangements and prioritize work-life balance over climbing the corporate ladder. They're also more open to unconventional career paths, like freelancing or starting their own businesses. But this flexibility comes with its own set of challenges. With less job security, there's more financial instability. And with more financial instability, there's more stress. And stress, as we know, is a significant contributor to mental health issues. It's a vicious cycle that Gen Z is trapped in. They're caught between the need for economic stability and the desire for job satisfaction. They're navigating a job market that is fundamentally different from the one their parents experienced. So, where does this leave Gen Z? They're grappling with a new reality, one where job security is elusive and the American dream seems like just that, a dream. It's a silent struggle, one that's shaping their attitudes towards work, life, and their place in the world. Today, we've delved into the silent struggle of Gen Z, a generation quietly giving up. We've explored how these young individuals are grappling with feelings of despair, experiencing a mental health decline that's more severe than previous generations. We've connected the dots to around 2012, when there was a sharp surge in mental health issues correlating with the rise of smartphone adoption. We've identified how this rapid technological shift has led to increased online time and decreased face-to-face interactions and sleep. We've also discussed the cultural and social shifts that have fragmented traditional community structures, leading to increased isolation and meaninglessness. Lastly, we've touched on the economic and job security concerns that have fueled Gen Z's skepticism about the traditional American dream. It's important that we recognize and address these issues. The struggle is real, but together we can make a difference. So, let's start the conversation and let's not stop until every voice is heard.